sit down, coming out of PE town. One drink, find a shot, never mind your liver, get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle, have a Gino shot.
Gino shot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle, get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
That's a big explosion. I love my explosion. Back again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gino's Spot. Indeed, on this beautiful evening. And it is, we are sort of creeping out of the wind tonight. I think the wind has calmed itself down a little bit. And it's going to be a beautiful evening. See Carol Jacobs online already from his London. Always on the horse. I love your profile picture with the horse. There we go, Carol Jacobs from East London. We've got people from all over the Eastern Cape. Welcome to Gino's Spot. And thank you, of course, to our sponsors, Fitch and Leeds and Spar, always Spar. But we have a new little small sponsor as well. If you've noticed in the background, we have a little bit of food here tonight. And Fat Cat's Catering, that's Grace. Grace DePria has kindly said that she's going to give us a little bit to eat every time we come on Gino's Spot. There, check it out, Fat Cat's Catering. Ooh. How's that? How's that nice of her, don't you think? Grace, don't you think she's a nice lady? Indeed, I do. And so we did a show, and whenever we do gigs, we often bump into the caterers, and Grace has always had fantastic food indeed. I see that Marinda Ferreira is online. Hello, Marinda. Lovely to see you there as well. Nice wave there, giving your wave. And then Gerrit Goosen. Hello. I'm here too. Oops. Ek weet nie wat Gerrit nou daar sê nie, maar hi Gino and guest. Hello Camilla Ellis. Indeed, of course, at the library. We always see Camilla's around the library. And there's Mike Bowen saying, go Grace. Yes, wasn't she fantastic? Got these little beautiful, it smells so nice in here. I wish you could be here so you can stick your schnoz inside my studio. And of course, our Fitch and Leeds ready to go. So let me know what you're drinking, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you are drinking indeed on this lovely Tuesday, and let us know where you're watching from. Tonight, of course, we have. That's why I'm dressed in my get out of jail outfit, because we have the lock specialists as well. Indeed, Joe Davis is in the house. We have Greg and Leo, both here from Joe Davis, and we're going to chat to them and find out exactly what's going on. Nice PE company as well. That's what I want on the show. PE, it's all about community, guys. All about community. You've realized the internet exploded at first, and everybody's interested in international stuff. But now, the best use for the internet and for email and whatever is to get our community together and to be able to help each other. Indeed. So that's why we're getting the local oaks on Eastern Cape, baby. Queenstown, Stutterham, Dordrecht, wherever you've coming in from, East London. We hope that you're having a good time. Let me sing you a song. Give me some comments in the comments. Let me know what you're drinking. Let me know anything. Tell me something about yourself. Come on. Here we go. One do party in the county jail. Giovanni Joseph was there to bail. Then John Madley and Edwin Mann said good afternoon to Gino Vander's rock. Everybody let's rock. Everybody in Michelle Bonnick said hello there. Wayne Tonka says hello G. Brennan Kelly says P for a change. What you P for a change, that's good. Jody Simpson says I, oh let's rock. Everybody let's rock. Just coffee, she's from Carita. That's good tonight, yeah. Till I was rock. Till I was rock. Brownie working for Joe Davis. That's great, the staff's online. Selman, Bard and Horst says I'm from Thelma, East Durban. John Mann, no, that's right, says how's it baby? Ooh, yeah. All right, and we are in, ladies ladies and gentlemen, we are in indeed. We're not going to be doing our What You're Watching tonight because Darren Fuller is not available tonight. David Hazelden, very nice to see you, David. We hope that you're going to come through as well for us in our award. We had, of course, voting. Voting is done. Everybody's got the little thumb. Got the little thumb. That's right. Everybody's posting pictures of the thumb. So I hope that you all got to vote yesterday because you have to use your constitutional rights. Indeed, I've got my rights. So make sure that I hope that you all voted. Matthew Porter, how's it, Matthew Porter? Nice to see you as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to call on our guests almost immediately tonight because we're not doing What You're Watching. So please welcome onto our stage Greg and Leo. Indeed, come through, Greg. You first here. You come in line. Here we go. We're going to sit you down in the things. Let me get the microphone in here as well. We'll put that in there so that we can hear the both of you, and we'll pull in this little table over here for our drinks. Of course, we've got a couple of little Fitch and Leeds moves going on here, but we've also got a little bit of punters. I found some punters in the back there. I had it in St. Francis, Keith, but we need some more. Can you see we haven't got any more punters? All right. Yummy. He sponsors us, but he's been a bit tardy recently. All right, I'm going to put this microphone down. I think we got it enough from that side. Are you hearing us loud and clear? Let us know if you have any issues with the sound, because we never know until you tell us. Indeed, well, we do. We've got through that too. Streaming, guys. It's you never know what's going to happen. Yeah. We always say Mr. Cockup is just around the corner.
It's waiting, huh?
It's waiting to get.
We know.
So Leo and Greg, both from Joe Davis. Obviously you're Leo Davis. So you must have a slightly longer, you're going to be getting the long service award sooner than Greg, I would imagine.
I think I'll just make it by about 30 years.
But Leo, family business, Joe Davis.
Yes, it's a family business, and it's been a great road. Started by my parents.
Okay, mom and dad?
Yep.
Originally from PE as well?
My dad was from PE, my mom was from Cape Town. And after my dad left the army, he came back to his old job in Port Elizabeth.
Okay.
But he only stayed there for about a year and a half, and decided he wanted to do his own thing.
Yeah.
Started in Walmer Road.
Entrepreneur, and what year is that now?
1947.
1947,
yeah.
Guys.
So the old South End.
Wow.
For those of you who don't know, it's similar to District 6 in Cape Town, that type of
Yes, it was demolished. We've had some lovely pictures. There's a group. Kat Anderson. Somebody tagged Kat Anderson and ask her maybe she can post a picture or so of the old South End here as well, because we've often had those pics coming on and to see what Walmer Road really looked like in the early days. Amazing.
Yes. Walmer Road wasn't where Walmer Boulevard is now. It was closer to town. So they did a whole change, and of course the suburb has changed completely.
Yeah.
And but it was a melting pot for the society. There was just everybody was there.
Yeah.
It was a complete mix. People lived side by side.
Yeah.
They were all happy. And very few
poor and happy.
Yeah, quite right. It was straight after the war years, and really there wasn't a lot of money around, I don't think, generally. Well, certainly not in our area.
Yes.
And my dad traded from there. He had 2 different premises that he hired.
Yeah.
In Walmer Road.
Okay.
And they were happy days. And I think he was probably there. I've got it written down here. We started there 47 and then moved across the road in 1957 to another building.
Wow, okay.
And then moved to North End in about 1971. But the interesting part, the whole South End thing was very interesting. All the people that we met and were friendly with.
Yes.
And
so did you grow up in South End?
Basically, my working time. We lived there a little bit too, but we lived in a lot of places. So I can't say that I lived in South End up to the age of about 11. I was 11. We moved a lot.
Okay.
And South End was one of the areas that we moved. I think we moved out of South End because there was a butcher shop below our flat, and my dad couldn't sleep at night. 4 o'clock in the morning, the callers were cutting meat for somebody, and so we moved out of the flat.
It had to be fresh, the meat, every morning. Congrats on still flying the family flag on the iconic PE business. That's Sean Paul's saying how's it. Sean was involved in the music industry. I don't know if you know Sean.
Okay. No, sure, yeah.
And Leo the legend there says Morris Lazarus.
He's my friend, yeah. He's the guy that I told you we went surfing.
Oh yeah, he's a surfer as well.
Mate, he went with me, yeah.
I like that.
Go
Do
back
you,
a long way.
do you also surf a bit?
I don't.
You don't?
Terra firma. So.
Terra firma, you don't like this so much.
We'll get his kids in the water.
Get him.
It's very tempting. We don't live at the coast for nothing. I suppose.
You know, Moss.
Get his kids in the water.
And yourself, were you born and bred PE or came from somewhere else?
Absolutely born and bred here.
Really? Okay.
And Leo the legend. It's and that's words in its truth, because it's so great to be part of that heritage.
Yeah.
So grateful to be part of the whole journey. And
when did you join the company?
Joined in '95.
Okay.
I think I left for
Quite a way ago.
Yeah. I left. Probably 6 months later for a bit of a sabbatical.
Oh, right.
Still, although I joined the legacy of Joe Davis, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do at that stage. I mean, do any of us really in our 20s?
When did you matriculate? And then
92.
92. Okay,
So 3 years fresh out of school, straight
Yes.
straight into Joe Davis. Had one job before, as they say, there were greener pastures.
Yeah.
I've stuck around ever since.
So when you're 23 years old, you don't know where you're going. And I always say, like even with the kids, there's so much pressure on the kids to try and decide. You guys have got to. They're all writing matric finals now. And it's like, what are you going to do as soon as they finish finals? What are you going to do next? What are you going to do next year? I don't know. At that age,
I really believe in a gap year. I think it's a great thing.
Yeah.
And then he went blew off some steam overseas after being with us for a while. It was marvellous. He came back.
Yeah.
They're ready to go.
Ready to work.
Cut and sell keys, So,
I see Vicky Belden, Vicky Kahn saying, hi Dad and Uncle Leo, the family's in the house.
Yeah, exactly.
So no bad language now.
Yeah. Of course, Vicky's with us too in the business.
Okay,
Actually, yes, she is.
Oh,
so
wow.
I better just mention that.
Yeah, that's lovely.
So now I've got 2 bosses in the business.
So do I.
Yeah, so Leo, I was just saying, I mean, you're 76 years old, is that right?
Yes.
I mean, that's unbelievable. You don't even look 65. If
Thank you. That's very kind of you. That's very kind of you.
Unbelievable. It's the surfing that keeps you.
I don't know. I like to think it's the work also, because I really believe that staying at work.
It does.
It's different strokes for different oaks, and for me, work has been a great thing. I like to get up and go to work every day. I like to take breaks too, but the work thing is very important.
Or pickle yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. No, they'll find me one day. It's okay.
It's close.
Go enjoy unemployment, and when it happens, it happens.
Not a chance. He's not going anywhere.
No, I can see. I see Giovanni Italiano. Very nice. Giovanni Joseph says, how's it going? Is he
he's one of our good customers. He actually helps run the metro in this town.
Oh,
so instrumental in keeping the city all in check. So hi Giovanni.
And Heidi saying, how's Gregor?
Yeah, that's my niece. So she's local.
But a family all over the place.
Lots of support.
Yeah, nice to have support.
Yeah, I mean, so I mean, obviously you started. What's this guy? It looks younger. Yeah, Brendan Kenny says he looks younger than Greg.
I'm going to be in trouble over this. I know that.
Sorry, Greg.
It's okay. I need 30 more years. Honestly.
Brendan, that is just so bad. I've got to get Brendan on as well. He races cars and he does stuff. He's quite interesting lad. He's always travelling around the world. He was in trouble one night and he said he was at the side of the road watching my show. So he put a comment on me, trying to send out help for him because he had been 2 punches and he was in the Olifants Pass. That was it.
That's a bit rude.
Classic. But family business, keep it kind of family as well. In the end, you use who you can as well. Especially in the beginning, forming a business for the first time, you've got to use people that will want to try and help you as well. So you often end up bringing in family.
For the first many years, it was just my mom and dad, and then they hired.
Of course, your mom never got paid.
Never.
Never.
Not a cent.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
And then my dad hired a driver, so that he could stay in the shop.
Yes.
And then I think eventually there was a store chap who worked in the store to carry cement, to do all sorts of things.
Okay.
And I think it was a staff of 4, and me, I was very young, but I was still popping it from school, and I was hanging around there.
Yes.
But generally the people working in the shop numbered 4 for a long time, until I think it was my dad bought a lawnmower sharpening machine from overseas, and then we got a guy to come and do the lawnmowers. Push mowers.
Yes.
So you had your lawnmower sharpened, and you got a little bit of free oil bottle.
Really?
Lawnmower, big sales pitch.
Nice.
Joe Davis oil.
Free oil. Because I mean, you were saying that we chatted a little bit beforehand, and you were saying that it was almost like a hardware shop as opposed to.
It was called Joe Davis Hardware.
Okay.
And it sold hardware, paint, cement, cut keys. My dad was the one who first coined keys cut while you wait.
Oh, really?
Yes. And that's what they did. He did a bit of outside locksmithing.
Yeah. Okay.
But he didn't have time to devote to it properly. So eventually he had helpers who would, subcontractors, And usually the guys who would, the locksmithing industry in those days wasn't as professional as it is today.
As it is now. Yeah.
And if people still think that the locksmith sits in, you want him, you find him in the pub, he's sitting with his toolbox, and you catch him at about 10 o'clock in the morning between gins.
He still sits in the
come
pub.
out. But anyway, so that was it. And then slowly we changed. We evolved, which we've had to do.
Yeah.
And moved on. There are a lot of people out there who sell paint hardware. Big companies who are countrywide.
Sure. So it is a tough business as well.
It's not an easy. Well, no business is easy, but I could see there was going to be quite a big change. So we discussed it. Yeah. I remember a turning point, just out of interest sake, was when Greenacres changed from a racetrack to a shopping centre.
Yes.
And I remember Checkers were the first big store in there. Yeah. And I was commissioned by one of the safe companies to go and set the combination locks on the strong doors and that sort of thing, which I did. Took my toolbox and I went and did it. Okay. And like all good workmen, when I was finished, I didn't go straight back to the shop. I walked around the shopping centre, and I walked into Checkers and I saw their stock. Yeah. And it was frightening. Yeah. Because they had so much of what we had.
Really? Wow.
That was, I remember distinctly, a very big turning point.
Okay.
And I went back and I said to my dad, we've got to get into the service industry more. Yeah. Because you can't discount labour.
Well, that's a bit of foresight, because you can go in and you can see, well then, it doesn't matter because the people will still come to us. But the truth of the matter is you've got to look at that and change. Yeah, in some way.
Yeah. So we did.
Yeah.
We did slowly but surely. We built up the locksmithing side of our business.
Okay.
And it worked.
Yeah.
It's fine. We're still there.
Still there. I mean, locksmithing is it? I just think of locking my keys out the house, or losing a key, or
it's very diverse now. Locksmithing very, very diverse, because of. It's mostly, I would say, because of security issues. Would you say that's what's changed the law?
Absolutely.
Security has become much bigger than it was before.
Yes, it's rolling gates and gate motors and strong doors with lots of locks on and electric locks and electric locks suddenly came in and we were fitting electric locks.
Yeah.
And so that was a learning curve.
Yes, I'm sure.
I'm no electrician. So
and now I suppose digital stuff.
Absolutely. It's evolved into more convenience industry.
Yeah.
So whilst we're in this country and security is a big thing, I think slowly, I don't know if you'd agree, Leo, that it would actually slowly moved over into a convenient kind of almost pairing convenience and security.
Yeah. Yes.
The people want their doors locked and they want security, yet they want the convenience of pressing a button.
That is so true. That is so true. I mean, I've got my gate outside here, and I've automated these things. I love automation But the automation takes the security away, doesn't it?
And the day it doesn't work.
Yeah,
you know,
of course.
that's when you really.
I want to say, hey Google, open my gate. That's what you want to do.
And you can.
Yeah.
You actually can. It is voice recognition.
Yes.
There's biometrics, which we do. So the industry has evolved, and thank God for Leo. Fortunately, he made the decision of moving over from paint and hardware to security.
Yeah.
Had he not made that decision 50 years ago, 45 years ago, I'm not sure any of us, where we would have been today. So that was a very, very important call.
It shows that you have to look at changing as well. I see Gary will slot on his question every now and again, and he puts them on the screen here, so you guys can't see them, but you can see them. And it says here, what does locksmithing entail, and what is the scope of your current business? It's true. What I was actually going to ask that as well is I mean, I'm a Philistine when it comes to this stuff. You say security and gates and that sort of thing. Is it automation as well? Is it cameras? Is it auto car keys and stuff like that as well?
Yes.
Everything.
There's no end to it.
Yeah.
In anything that locks or opens and closes, however you do it, the locksmith needs to be able to do that and needs to train his staff to do that. However, getting back to it, if we've got a new apprentice in, one of the first things I learn is just to duplicate an ordinary latch key. Yeah. So nothing's changed. We are cutting the keys the same as I did in Southend when I was a teenager for my dad. We're still cutting the same latch keys,
and
so
with the same machine, keeps it the same. And then
it's a copying machine, copying machine.
Yeah,
So
but I mean, the automotive stuff has now got all these little funny gadgets inside.
Oh yeah, I mean, vehicles have all become diagnostic and transponderic and
transponders. That's what I was trying to think of.
Transponders. So something needs to match.
Bastard things.
Yeah, something in your key needs to talk to something in your car, and without that something, you're carless, and you're keyless. So
can you do all that, all the different cars? I mean, is it because I know that there was some legislation passed a little while ago that said that the dealerships you can now should be able to get parts from any place that can provide it.
As the vehicle ages, and so the software becomes available to locksmiths like ourselves. Yeah. So as long as the software is available, it's. I think where we come into play, Leo, and I think you'll vouch for it, is that if you buy yourself a new vehicle today, what are the chances you're going to lose both keys in the first 2-3 years? Maybe you will. Okay, you're a bad example.
I went swimming with mine.
No, but you only really come to play in the first sort of maybe second or third year of owning a vehicle. Yeah. You lose your first, you can live without a spare. But you lose the only keys you have to your car. It's probably going to happen a little later on. Be careful. It's a brand new Mercedes or a brand new Peugeot, and we can fix it.
Hey, I love it. Jody Simon said, Leo and Greg, what did you say is the biggest reason for the success of Joe Davids?
It's a few things.
Evolution.
Yeah. Longevity. I mean, it's you just kept going in it as well, I think.
Do you think that the basics of business, any business, if you really want to last, is you've got to give people what they want, and they want satisfaction. They want to be happy. It's got to be a happy adventure for them when they buy from you or use you. So your service has to be consistent and good, consistently good. You got to try and give them value for money. Cheap doesn't work. Value for money. Those are really and the goods that you sell them must be decent quality. You do not want it to fall to pieces after a few months. And I think those three things are pretty important. There's lots of things to make a business keep going. But I really believe in those three things. I think that it's important to keep a customer happy like that.
Because a lot of stuff now is coming in from overseas, from China and from these places, and you want to know that you're buying something that's going to work. So your knowledge on the subject on the products is going to be instrumental in forming that relationship with the client, making sure that they know or it was educating them as well. So you need to educate them.
Quality stock, quality goods is very, very important.
I see Heinrich saying, "Hi guys, ask Leo to tell you how him and his dad used to strip locks at the dining room table after supper at night. No manuals." It's true.
Quite right, actually. It's quite right. My dad used to. He didn't have time during the day to do any of the intricate work. So, if there was somebody who wanted 20 locks with a master key, I don't want to bury you in technicalities, but everybody knows what a master key is. Then
a skeleton key.
For that series of locks, we would have to take the locks that we had in stock that had keys and then strip them and then change them. And my dad would do that at the dining room table, the kitchen table at night, because there wasn't time to do it during the day. And that's where I got my grounding on that. So.
Yes, so you really get an insight as to how that thing fits together, that whole thing. I watched a program. What was this? Was it last night? Not before Philip put it on, and it was about a safe cracking guy. It was it was a German guy that was talking like this and whatever. And I mean, is it possible to do that stuff? Do you do that stuff? When I think locksmith, maybe he's going to be one of those guys. You know,
you mentioned someone the other day that had that sort of talent.
I've learned to say that. Believe that anything is possible. The fact that I don't know how to do it doesn't mean say it's not possible. Okay.
Well, he says he doesn't, Barbara Manor. He says those big walk-in safes. He doesn't know how to do. He doesn't know how to do them. But that big bank robbery in 1963, we didn't.
Yeah, that's right.
Nothing about it. Yeah, that's
right. Yeah. You talk about, just quickly, bank robbery. People sometimes say, we want you to make our house or our business completely secure. Nobody can get in. And you like to think that you could do that. And I have to think back when they robbed the bank in Pretoria, the Reserve Bank. I don't know if you remember, many years ago, they tunneled underneath.
Holy moly.
And I just use it as an example. Yeah. I'll do my best, but if they can get into the Reserve Bank in Pretoria,
that thing is full.
No guarantees. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, okay.
But I mean, people actually will come in and they'll ask you to secure themselves.
Absolutely.
Some of these guys coming from overseas to work here at GM or these international companies. Often have people coming from overseas and they want like a safe haven or what they call a safe haven in the house, and like a panic room.
Yeah. They do. Yeah. There are rooms like that you make.
Have you seen those?
Yeah. You can put special doors on them, or you put strong room doors on them, and you make sure that there's a release from inside, so that if you're actually locked in there by the baddies, that you can actually get out. Yeah. There's people request that sort of thing.
So they just dive into the rooms.
We can do it.
It seems a bit over the top, but you never know. Michelle van Nicke says, I agree with Van Nicke, if Van Nicke's in Johannesburg. There we go. Is it Gady? Gady Pearl.
He's my nutter friend from Cape Town. So.
Hey yo, Gady. I hope you've got a drink, Gady. And Wayne Foster says TV stars. Indeed they are tonight.
Ripping us off, Wayne. We're old friends.
On Gino's spot. Offer the boys a drink. They've run out of glasses. I think they've got their tops here. We got you.
Almost out.
Cheers.
Cheers, Wayne. Cheers, Wayne.
Elections are over. He says, time to watch again. How's it? Michael's been working hard. He's one of the AIM representatives, I think. It was it P? No, sorry, it was PA. Hey, it was PA, Michael. Yeah, it was with the PA. I think, they've got a percentage of the vote there as well. There's some stuff coming in. Michelle Kelly, hello, special people. So good to hear from you tonight as well. Thank you, Michelle. I hope that you've got your Fitchin leads. I think she was a winner a little while ago. She won our thing. Edward Muntz, Krugersdorp tunnel robbery. There we go.
Yeah.
Well, now we know, Edward, who it was. Greg Wardable, how's it been, man? That's my name.
So Greg's dad, Les, was very friendly with my parents.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he was in the army with my dad's brother. Now, when my dad would go away to do some buying, it didn't happen that often.
Yes.
The one thing my mother could not do in the shop was cut glass. We used to cut glass. And Les used to come after work in the evenings, and who'd ever ordered glass during the day, it wasn't a major thing, but there'd be a few pieces of glass. And I think it was really good of him, because he used to shred his fingers. He didn't know anything about glass cutting. He was a good friend to my
How many
parents.
fingers, Greg? How many fingers?
So his dad used to...
Oh
used to
man,
come
that's
and help,
interesting.
yeah.
He's my neighbour in St. Francis. We live next door to each other. Lovely guy. And Kate Whitfield saying hello, Greg and Leo.
Yes.
There we go. And Pat Wood. We're welcoming feeling when entering the shop, and super service. Thank you, Pat.
Thank you, Pat.
She can do some advertising for you,
lovely.
Pat. She's a regular on the show. Thank you, Pat. Always watching nicely. And so, so now, I mean, Greg, yourself, I mean, you say you joined about 95. Did you, your first job out of school, and then you had a little bit of a break?
Actually, it wasn't. I worked for a timber merchant, fresh out of school. Didn't want to go to the
Africa
army.
Timbers or one of those, isn't it?
Actually, it was called City Timbers.
Oh, Bubsy
So,
Kerbal.
Bubs Kerbal, the late Bubsy Kerbal used to own that. Worked for him for about 1.5 to 2 years.
Piling wood on trucks.
That's it. Actually, I was very hands off. Actually,
Okay.
So fresh out of school, I wasn't allowed to touch anything.
Oh, right.
But I answered the phones. I did some other important stuff, and then the inevitable happened. Business was very tough in the late 90s,
Yes.
or mid to late 90s.
Yes.
His business unfortunately went belly up.
Okay.
And then I got a phone call from Leo. Middle of the week in the evening. Leo
How did you
said-
know about him, Leo? I mean, this 23-year-old.
First of all, Greg
righty.
was at the same school as my kids.
Okay.
And my dad knew his dad, Saki, very well.
Okay.
And Greg used to come into the shop for Bubsy to buy the odd, some nails and some screws, and have a key cut and one thing and another. So I knew that he was working for Bubsy, and we used to chat. And I also had a little inside information that Bubsy's business was skating a bit.
Skating, nice. Okay.
And I think we spoke. And then when it happened, I contacted Greg and said, please, why don't you come and see? And I interviewed him.
Oh, nice. Yes. They call it the halo effect.
I said, just come and work.
You can be sure Leo wasn't an HR specialist at that time.
Well, he pretended. He was bloody good, actually. But I remember getting that phone call, actually. I remember getting the phone call, and that night my dad came home late from his trip. He used to be a rep out in the country. Came home and he said, how was your, because my mum obviously told him that I'd been contacted by Leo, and how did your chat go? So obviously, as most 20-year-olds are very cocky, I said, well, I'm not too sure. I don't picture myself working for the rest of my life in a hardware store, you know. And
You see
26 years later, I'm still here. But that was the start of very, very good things to come.
I mean, you see, as a 23-year-old, a 22-year-old, when you see things in such a different way to what you see things now.
Yes.
And to work in a corporate a big corporate is a different thing. You know, you go in and you work your way through. It's almost like there's a hierarchy. You work your way, but when you're working in a family business or a smaller business, you do everything.
Yeah.
Is that what you?
And that's what I was taught. That's how I was taught. And I think good values were passed on. You know, we're trying to do the same today. I think it's very difficult with the new generation of workforce that's coming through. I say that
the millennials.
The millennials.
Those poor millennials. They'll come right.
Yeah, they will come right. But I think
things have changed. Same as business change, values change.
Yes.
There's so much more that's available out there.
It's true. The youngsters also are able to see where to go, help to see where to go as well. They can see where the trend is going.
Yeah.
Whereas maybe we battle a bit more.
They are more efficient thinkers nowadays. I couldn't tell my left from my right when I was 23. So we all had to be guarded. And nowadays they seem to be just born with brains for some reason, you know. And that's.
Well, I think you know what I think. I don't know if you guys agree out there. It's like all to do with life hacks. Like the youngsters, they all want to do things super quick. They don't want to waste their time, and they just go. So they want something that's gonna be a trick to make it easier.
Instant gratification.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's good. Sometimes
I think it's sometimes very good. It keeps everybody on their toes.
Yes.
And to invent new things in your business to make sure that you keep your customers happy. So they expect more, we better do it, you know. And it comes the same with people looking for jobs and having jobs. They're very often constantly looking to move better themselves, which is, I understand. You just got to be careful because life's a long road. Work is a very long road.
Yes.
You need to, I think, stick with something that you're comfortable with. And it's not always about money. Well, that is important. We all know that. But going to work every day, getting up and almost wanting to go to work is really important, I think.
But Leo's had a particularly good eye for talent. I think anybody could walk through our doors and profess to know or be interested, or this is my passion. But you actually need to recognize, you either can or you can't do it. You either have the aptitude or the skill or the willingness to be able to be part of whatever industry you want to go into.
It's true.
But Leo has had a good knack of spotting.
From the locksmithing side, we've been. I think as a company,
I mean, look at me.
Very fortunate.
You spotted me.
Spotted him first, I see memories of PE East London EC Facebook group posted many photos of Southend through the decades. Thanks, Sean. I've seen some of those. Amazing. Aberdeen's was close to Joe Davis.
There were so many places. There was so interesting. Southend was very, very interesting place to work and to live. I don't want to go all the way back there again.
You said the road wasn't exactly where it was. It was a little bit. Was it to the left? Was that
just towards town a bit? It's closer towards town, But it's a very interesting area. That was. I don't laugh. My barber, don't laugh. My barber's still the same guy that cut my hair in South End. His dad cut my hair when I was about 6.
You don't need it as much as you used to.
I know. He complains bitterly. He complains bitterly because I don't need him as much. But his dad cut my hair, cut my mom's hair, cut my dad's hair. And so it goes on,
Community. We support the community. That's what we need to do in this town.
Street for the tradesman. Then it was all about using your hands and about entrepreneurial skills.
And I mean, locksmith. We were you touched on before we started. You actually touched on a school that you guys are doing for locksmiths and like a trade.
Well, basically, the Locksmiths Association of South Africa embarked on a project quite a long time ago. Locksmithing has never been a recognised trade. You come out of school, if you wanted a trade, guys went to be plumbers, electricians, builders. You could do a trade. After 3 years, you did a trade test, you got a certificate, you were recognised. Locksmithing wasn't like that. Doesn't matter why, it just wasn't. And we decided we needed to formalise this trade properly. Not we, and I'm not saying me, but
the industry.
It started basically up in the Transvaal. They started the Locksmiths Association, and it spread, and so it became more formal. It also meant that the locksmiths were talking to each other at last.
Yes, I'm sure that competition in the beginning.
You couldn't
skullduggery and secrets.
You put 2 in a room. so that started to improve, and then eventually we decided. Then I was really part of it. We decided that we need to training. I won't take you through the whole thing, but we've eventually had support from Sasita. There is a course. We operate the school upstairs for those who want to learn locksmithing.
So it's like NQF kind of thing then. It's is a proper trade now. So
I'll say right out loud that I'm not 100% happy with the course content. But anyway, we've got it and we will live with it.
But I don't think any older locksmith that has been in the industry for long time is never going to be completely happy.
True.
So part of the old Warmer Road is our town complex. Find it when digging in the garden. You find the old road. You dig up any interesting stuff, bits of pottery. Next year we are 28 years in business, and for that full time we only use Joe Davis as our preferred security and locksmith supplier. guy. Been helped by Uncle Leo many times. Uncle
Thank
Leo.
you. Thank you.
There we go. Cutting my keys, such memories. That's Michael Clement. He's down at the beachfront and he takes lovely videos in the morning as well of the beachfront. If you want to see, just log on to his Facebook site.
Yes. So so that's we're trying to make sure that the youngsters who come in, or whoever, doesn't have to be youngster, whoever comes into the locksmithing industry, leaves with a certificate. If they want to leave or they want to move or go anywhere, they don't have to rely on their past boss to give them a reference, because that doesn't always work very well.
Yes,
sometimes things don't end happily for whatever reason. And we believe that there should be a certificate, and there is. And we've gone there. There are now a lot of individuals out there with locksmithing certificates.
It's come through our hands.
Excellent.
And it's internationally recognized.
And that means you can go to any spot. Here's your qualification. You can do this.
Yes.
I see Philippa says he can provide you with some students for your course. Excellent.
Okay.
That's my dear wife.
Send them along.
There we go. Absolutely. They've got a vocational
to
phase.
their benefit. To very much to their benefit. Not easy to get a job today. And it's not easy to find a workman today, a good workman. So it works both ways.
Yeah.
And a number of the youngsters who came into our business, not doing the course, but came into our business, knowing absolutely nothing, have ended up owning their own businesses. And working and owning their own businesses. And we've always wished them well. Go out there and do exactly what my dad did. That's exactly what he did. He worked for somebody, then he opened his own business.
Entrepreneurial stuff. Creating jobs. That's what we need to do in this place. Well, our vocational phase students are doing skills-based curriculum as well, so that's great. She says entry requirements. Are there any entry requirements for that?
Well, you definitely mustn't have 10 thumbs. Okay, you cannot work with 10 thumbs if you want to be a locksmith.
You need to be like one of those guys.
Natural ability to use your hands. I don't think you even need a grade 12, Leo. You don't need.
Look, the rule book out there says that you're supposed to have. And I'm not sure either grade 12 or grade 10.
Okay.
I go against the grain there. I don't believe in that at all. And I'm quite happy to take in anybody who shows an interest and who's got reasonable common sense and who will be able to work with their hands. Because I've had some really good youngsters pass through my hands and who've turned out really well, who never completed school. They didn't even get through standard 8. And it's not a prerequisite. My dad finished standard 6. That's where he finished, standard 6. And there was no money, so he had to go and work. And he made a success of his life in his own way.
His business is still going.
I'll never use that as a criteria.
Absolutely, and it depends on the amount of passion that you put in. If you're interested in it, I mean, for me, there must be something in this business that's driving you guys as well. That you're passionate about. You love it. So is it meeting the people? It often is the fact that you're dealing with people. Are you people?
I think we better be.
You
deal with them all day.
You got to
deal with them all day.
You've
got to be people. And it's an interesting trade. For me, it is.
It's always something different.
I think we've been relatively fortunate. I mean, even through COVID, I think because we're in the security game, that helped. I think we all suffered, obviously, and we don't want to. Go into that, but
us musos. For goodness sakes, we had nothing.
No gigs.
Nothing.
And we had at least one gig a day. We had to open a car, open a house, or something.
I had no gigs, but I lock my keys in my car every day.
thanks, Gino. So it was. I think it's. We were fortunate, and that was a call Leo made, and that was just. Fortuitous, but you still got to work at it. You still got to have a passion. You still got to have drive. You still got to have motivation. I mean, we now from starting off with four family members, we're now close to 40 staff with 2 shops and vehicles and machinery, and you got to have that drive and that passion. I think if I was in a bakery or something, I don't think I'd have quite the same passion. So you got to love
Yeah,
the
what
work
you do.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And that plays a big role, I think.
You've also, I think part of it, you ask the success, how have you kept going?
Yeah.
We've actually invested over the years in some decent machinery.
Okay.
We haven't sat with one or two key cutting machines and said, okay, this is how we're going to make a living. We're just going to duplicate keys on these few machines. We've increased it and we've got a lot of machinery. Really. And I'm not saying that to boast at all.
Yeah.
I'm saying I believe we needed it.
Yes,
we needed it if we wanted to do the job properly.
Yeah.
We needed the machinery. And we bought a machine today. We bought him a new machine today.
Key cutting thing.
We had to do with you guys.
That was diagnostics, a
diagnostic,
programming device.
Okay, wow.
So later software was now released. It's now the machine's uploaded with the software, and we can now program
any kind of car.
Well, 2020 Peugeots, 2018 to 21 to current Mercedes Benzes, and those kind of vehicles. Yeah. So yes, what Leo is saying is to stay ahead and to stay up to point. You need to have the right equipment.
And of course, I mean, the fact that you're dealing with new stuff all the time. So each client comes to you with a unique problem, and then if you solve that problem, that gives you your.
I remember I was lectured by I studied for 3 or 4 years, by the way, and qualified in some stupid degree that I'm not using today. Mind you, you kind of inherently use it. But I remember my accounts lecturer, Mr. Hassler. Accounts 1
sounds
actually.
Like not so much accounting.
Not that kind of hustler. And he used to come into the shop, and he's completely mesmerized and bewildered by locks. He'd come in with these padlocks, these German-made padlocks and Israeli-made padlocks, and he'd say, "How does it work?" And he wants several locks to work with the same key, and he'll strip it. He'll stay at home and he'll strip a lock, and he wouldn't know how to reassemble it. And he'll come to me and he'll say, "Greg, please make this thing work again." And he was, it does actually intrigue people.
Yes, for sure.
So it is.
No, definitely intrigues people.
That movie the other night, you must have a look at that. I can't remember what it's called. Philippa will know what it's called. Maybe she can post it. I see Michelle van Ekek there saying that how many stores do you have and where can you find them there?
2 in PE.
2 in PE, okay.
2 in PE. I don't think we can handle much more than 2.
Okay.
Yeah, it's...
whereabouts are they now? One North End, you say?
So the one in North End, 661 Govan and Becky, and we recently acquired the building where we've been for 10 years, right behind in Frank Street. So we're 7 Frank Street,
And that's Newton Park?
Newton Park.
Okay, there's car places.
We shared with Bathroom Bazaar.
I know exactly where it is.
And then
used to be a car
we had a wish to have our own premises, and also much more space to work on motor cars, because now we've got a lot of space to work on cars.
Do those car guys come to you as well?
They do support us. They support us, absolutely.
The car industry is very important to us. Very important. Always has been. And it's becoming more and more now with the transponder issues.
Yes.
It's incredible that the trouble and the keys today. If you look at a key today compared to the key that you carried when you first drove a motor car, it's completely different. Just the little blade is the same, but the rest of it, the plastic and all the stuff that's inside it, much that can and does go wrong, and it can be expensive. It's an expensive thing.
And we had to take our business to where the market is. I mean, William Moffat has now become Motor Town.
Yes, it has.
So we had to be at that intersection. The P's centre's changed.
It has.
So while CBD used to be down in Govan and Becky, it's now slowly moving, and we also need to move. So, like we've evolved with machinery and staff and that sort of thing, we've evolved in position. So we've had to reposition ourselves where our customers are.
It's amazing to think about that different parts of PE become different hubs, isn't it? So you've got to be careful when you've got a business to be able to go to try and foresee where your business, your clients are going to be settling, so that you're close by.
Yeah,
it's true.
I could never understand my associates in the Transvaal that I met up with in the Gauteng area. There were many more locksmiths up there, and I used to phone them, and let's say I'd have a cousin who'd lost his keys in one part of Johannesburg, and I'd phone my mate and say, please go and help him. He said, you're crazy, I'm not going all the way there. Get the other Oakers in that area. And I used to think, are you crazy? Turning away. Turning away.
Down the road.
It's too far to go.
Yeah,
And PE is getting there.
Yes.
PE is getting it. That's business of us being a 10-minute city. You could get anywhere.
Yeah.
When we were in North End, when we really started on the outside calls and locksmithing, honestly, we could get almost anywhere except not Seaview and outlying areas, which would take longer. 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
The radius was
more.
20 k's.
Wherever you not anymore, you know.
It is getting further out. I see the new Hunters Retreat shopping centre there that's going to macros out there, and Bay West, and it's growing, and it's amazing the amount of houses that'll be built out. They sort of look at them as an entire community now. Bay West has got a housing thing out there as well.
It's going to grow.
Too far.
And it will. And the public don't always understand when you open motor car, we'll say give them a price, and they're desperate, they want it done. And then you travel for 20 minutes. You take 2 minutes to open the car. And hello, you must be very wealthy. We say no.
And it's such a grudge purchase, isn't it?
Drive all the way back again.
It's like buying medical aid. It's just a bloody key. Just inside, I can see it.
Can see the
window.
And it's always the locksmith's fault,
Of course. So take a quick to open, and then you got it run back again.
Do us a favour, man. Come on, man.
I had plenty of those. Plenty of my associate rugby players. Late at night.
Yes, of course. Other guys want great service. Liesel Nokia says, good old-fashioned service. That's because it's good old-fashioned people, Liesel.
That's right. That's right.
That's it. I see. As I said, I won't even say Google what he says there. It popped up on my screen. I can say, "Hey Google," and it's gonna open his thing again. Hey Google, switch on all Mike Barwood's lights. Oh no, Gino Spot, highly recommend. Thank you very much, Liesel. Oh man, I think it's time now for a getting to know you session. I've got some questions.
Getting to know all about you.
I'm still busy with the same
thing. We're just checking if Leo wants a whiskey yet. Because you brought some whiskey too.
I'll have another sip of this.
There he is over here on this side here. We've still got a bit of Keith Clark's punters here. We're punting a bit at the moment. All right, so both of you can. One of you can answer, or both of you can answer. We might hand out the questions as we go along. What's the most common myth about your industry?
Go, Leo.
The most common myth is that anything can be opened very quickly, like I see in the movies.
Yes, you're like this.
In the movie, there isn't much time for a guy to pick a lock. You just pick in the locks open and they walk through, because I don't want to waste footage. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. That's the most common.
Takes a while.
Okay, takes a while.
Do you actually pick locks still?
Sure, absolutely.
Look, a man put it together, right?
Ooh.
Okay,
Absolutely.
So a man can take it apart. You just got to know how it works inside. So,
okay, you just got to know how that thing works, and then you got those little picking things that you use. Those little sneaky little picking things that you use.
Well, I mean, Leo used to make all these picking things.
Really?
And now you can buy a complete. I mean, you can go on Google and you can just about purchase any lock pick set you want, whatever your heart's desire.
Really?
Now, so it has made our industry interesting.
Yeah.
So every lock that comes out, there's anti-picking devices.
It's properly like the movies. This stuff.
It is.
It is. Only we take longer.
Yes, of course. For 3 days, Leo's going to be sitting. Has there ever been one that's really got you?
Yes, you can go to the same door 2 days in a row, and you can do it in 5 minutes and then do it in 35 minutes.
Oh, really?
And there's no telling why. but it just happens. Okay,
It's like putting in a contact lens. Sometimes it's so easy.
Your hand shakes a little bit. The next day it doesn't shake.
Yeah.
You have one of these and you go and pick.
There we go.
Generally, we try to do it without destroying the door or the car.
Okay.
That's a big thing. Leave, when we leave, it must be the same as when we arrive. Try very hard to do that,
That's fascinating. Really, it is fascinating. Okay, have you any notoriously difficult customers?
I think every business has its difficult customers, I think also there's a trick to handling those customers, I think you buy the loyalty, you buy the patience, and eventually they become comfortable with you. I think that's really in your industry too. Not everybody enjoys your jokes, but that person becomes a good person. If the audience
try to understand because people can, especially during COVID when everybody's depressed and down and doing the strange, thinking strange, if somebody is upset, it could be just
I went through school with a guy and eventually became a client of mine. He had quite a few properties and eventually I said to tell him not to come. I can't. This is impossible. It's not good. He came back.
Was it a Porro or a Greek or an Italian like me?
No,
you know those guys.
Not going anywhere with it.
No, Leo, why you not help me now? Come on, these Italians. I know the Italians because it's my family. Yes. Don't, what are you talking about? You don't judge me that kind of thing.
That we have quite a lot of, but that's very easy to get by. Very easy to get by. We've got lots of answers for all of that.
Well, but there
have been
I love customers like that. They're highly entertaining. I feed off them.
Yes, it is. It is quite cool. It is quite cool. The most challenging task you've ever been given by a customer?
Challenging task.
Yeah, or if it's a lock or if it's a...
It is. We've been given tasks to make a place, for example, nobody must be able to get in here when we're away. Absolutely. And it's a very challenging task.
Of course.
So it happens on a regular basis.
You built a concrete thing to stop tunneling.
It's concrete floor. Difficult. We try to overcome all those hurdles, and sometimes it's impossible, obviously, but we have had challenging tasks, and probably if I really gave it some thought, we could tell you about quite a few, but it could get a bit boring. We do get asked to do things sometimes that are a bit impossible.
Okay.
As in, I'm going to catch the aeroplane, I'm leaving in 5 minutes, and I live in Seaview, and I've lost the keys to the car. You've got to come now, make keys and get me there.
It's late anyway.
You might as well just send a lift.
Absolutely.
Call him an Uber.
Challenging, yes, that's very challenging.
I'm sure.
And believe me, it happens. People get bedorned, they get upset, and they need to catch the plane, or they need to do this or that.
They don't think in sense.
And they cross with you because you're going to charge them.
No, I lost the keys for them.
Of course you did. No. This is a Gary question. I love these kind of things. Have you ever inadvertently been party to a crime?
No, we've been accused of it. We've been accused. I'd like to say accused.
Allegedly, they were.
Allegedly. We like to do all the cross checks, and we can usually smell a rat a little bit. Like somebody phones and says, we'd like you to open our wall safe, but you must only do it on Thursday at 4 o'clock. And it's Monday, and you say, well, it's usually because there's trouble in the family, and that single person was maybe going to ballet classes at that particular time. Right. Husband still got a key, or something like that. And you can smell it a mile off.
Family issues.
It's usually family issues.
You have to get in there.
Well, when there have been times that we are worried, we'll get a letter from one of the lawyers to say, or the messenger of the court, or somebody to say
Police
you can go
escort
in,
or
and if you still think it's not okay, we're not interested.
Okay.
But we have been threatened because people get cross.
Yes.
And kids outside the house have come from school. The parents are not available.
Yeah.
And let's say the neighbour calls and says, let these kids in the house, and then the parents get cross with us. We don't want the children in the house when we're not there. And, oh my God, what do you do? They get very cross with you. Unfortunately, it happens so seldom, but it happens. Yeah. And
there's some crazy shit going down in this place.
I remember a story actually where one of our locksmiths, who incidentally now works in Johannesburg, Quinton Leo.
Yes.
He was sent out to go and open up a BMW, I think it was. Yeah. And when he got there, the bloody customer was wearing a balaclava. And of course, the first thing you think of, this is ulterior motive, this is not right, And he actually asked the guy to take off his balaclava. I mean, it's we kind of parted to a car. So, it ended up being okay, actually. I think it was winter or something.
Who wears a balaclava for fun?
And calls the locksmith to open his car.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't...
And then keeps it on. Does he
keeps it on, Like, this is normal. This is normal.
I just need a locksmith to open my BMW.
With a balaclava. Sick joke, his idea of a sick joke. So,
that's crazy. And I mean, if you think about it, you could be in the guy's thing, opening a safe for somebody, and then the wife comes home or the husband comes home.
Hello.
And what the hell's going on here? They called me in and they're going to pay my bill, but...
See, in America, they have stings.
Yeah.
They have stings in America because we used to get journals from America a lot. They've become a bit expensive now, locksmithing journals. And there was always a story. Yeah. And the local newspaper or the local whoever who liked to write stories up, or there wasn't that much social media then. Yeah. They'd call a locksmith out and say, open up premises, and the owner will be there. And the owner was actually this person who didn't own the residence at all, and take pictures and do this whole thing, and have a sting. So you don't have to be careful. Yeah. But it's a fine line. You've got to be careful.
Get fellow locksmiths in trouble.
No worry. No worry.
Phone them up and get them into trouble. And get rid of my competition in town.
I send them on false calls. It's been known to happen about the competition.
Send them out of town.
Oh my word.
Send them on a 4-hour call out. And then
no, it's terrible.
Can't get into my car in Stutterheim.
Any crazy characters in your line of work?
Oh, lots.
Employees,
we've had some real characters in our line of work. One of the nicest things of being part of the Locksmiths Association is we haven't had it for a couple of years because of COVID now, but there was an annual general meeting every year, and we'd go for a weekend. And we all like-minded people. Yes. And there was a lot of work that was discussed, and there was a lot of everything going on, but
sharing of information.
But there was also a lot of stuff went on in the pub. A lot of stuff on the golf course, in the pub, and crazy characters and blokes I will remember forever. Friends of ours. Very, very nice.
Those times when you share information, I mean that is so valuable, And like you say, this whole what you call the group that's now sort of standardizing the system, what was it, Locksmiths Association or something?
Yes, the Locks.
That's invaluable. I mean, especially nowadays, where things have changed like that. There's no more competition. That's my competition. I'm not going to tell him anything. It's spread the word, get it out there.
We've tried. There's still, obviously, there is still competition, but the sharing of information is much, much better than in my dad's day. Because although he wasn't doing full-on outside locksmithing, he had friends. He was a chap who was in the army with this chap in the army. He was actually best man at his wedding, and he went to Johannesburg, my dad PE, and they stayed friends forever and a day. This bloke opened a locksmithing business. I became friendly with his sons. Okay. We shared a huge amount of information, became family friends. And this happened, all evolved because we were in the same trade, became friends. Yeah. And we had pretty wild times.
That's good. Sure. Well, Haley,
Hilton. My son-in-law giving
oh,
me a
yes,
go. He
that's
says he
absolutely
came all the way to
amazing.
Cape Town to unlock my car.
Came all the way to Cape Town, Hilton.
No.
That's what are you doing in Cape Town, bro?
He's married.
You
He's
should
married
have phoned in Cape Town, lots.
No, he's married to my daughter. So
well,
if there's something
then
wrong.
you
If
see.
he'll wait for me to get there to do something on his
You
motor
just
car.
wanted to see. You just wanted to check up on Hilton. Just make sure that he's treating your daughter right. There we go. Oh, excellent. Let's see something that people don't worry about, but really should in your trade, like
Quality.
quality.
I think you can agree with me, Leo. I
Absolutely.
think the world has just gone crazy because obviously prices are of a premium, but there's certain things that you need to actually invest in, and that is security.
Yeah.
So if you're not going to buy a quality lock and you're not going to secure your home or your family, that is what people should invest in, and they don't, and they should.
Yeah.
So I would say that's probably top of the
Quality.
list.
So don't just get the cheapest. I think that sort of kind of goes for almost everything. It's like you've got to find that you were talking about value for money. You know what I mean? That's what people are looking for. It's like that value for money. Is that you don't want to spend a fortune, but you also want to get a deal for your money.
Sure.
That's
what
fair.
people want.
That's fair. We all
Competition
want
does that because you want to have the edge, but the edge is not always price.
Yeah.
You know,
It's true.
So,
And you'd rather pay that little bit extra than wow, I'm getting something that's going to last forever. And you guys can at least, in the trade, you guys can guide people to get the right thing. Yeah.
You know, living at the coast, we have a particular problem, and that's rust.
Uh-huh.
Up in the Transvaal and Bloemfontein, they don't know what rust
Yeah.
is. They don't know what the colour of rust is.
Yeah.
Here, if you buy a padlock and you hang it on your gate,
Bug it.
it's like, you don't buy a decent one and you don't buy quality, it's not going to last. And to get that across, and sometimes people just don't seem to learn. You know, keep buying that inexpensive, cheap one.
Yeah.
And then can't understand why in 3 or 4 months' time the key doesn't want to turn, the thing is rusty, or they don't use it for a few months and then it doesn't work. So that quality thing, you need, there are times when you definitely have to buy the right thing for the job.
Yeah.
I
Just spend
wouldn't-
that extra. Just spend a little bit extra. Nick is saying, hello, Grandpa Leo from Nick. Is that the grandson?
That's the grandson.
Lovely.
Lovely, eh? Hi, Nicky. Nice to speak to you.
You know that the grandchildren take over completely.
Very much so.
I
Very
think
much
it's
so.
rotten
Lots
compared
of
to the
things.
children. Like you can see your daughter. What was your daughter's name? Is married to Hilton then.
Hilton, yes, Vanessa.
Vanessa didn't get treated like Nick gets treated. No. She got the rod.
So right, when Nicky irritates, I get him back.
Oh yes. He's never irritated. That's the whole point. You've got far too much patience. Damn you, Leo.
Parents can give their grandkids away.
My word. Okay, I'm going to give this one to you, Greg, because you're the younger guy.
Okay.
The scars. Which of your scars has the best story behind it?
Scars.
Yeah.
Oh my word. Are you talking
You got
work
scars.
related or sports related?
Sports related scar, anything. It's fine. Just a bit about you.
I'd have to say my knees.
Your knees.
I'm a bit of a crook actually.
Is it?
Yeah.
But you're a squash player.
I'm a squash player, and wherever I find an opportunity, I'll play squash. But you get over 40,
Yeah.
So actually, I'm
Stapes.
knocking on 50 Stapes.
Adam Stapleton is a big squash player. But it's at the knees.
Stapes is a good mate of mine. We play for the same club, and I think we've had the same operations.
Okay.
So I've got scars on both my knees. So
There we go.
I've got cameras into my knees and all sorts of things. But I would do it again. I love the sport.
Yeah.
I love the sport. When you work hard, you need to play hard.
Yeah.
And Leo has his surfing and rugby.
I was going to say this. The surfing. Did you do rugby as well? Yeah. So you
Used
still
to
play
once
rugby
upon-
then, mate?
No.
At 76.
I struggle to get out of bed sometimes because of rugby. From doing it for too
Dreaming
long.
about rugby. Yeah.
But I love watching rugby, and I'm very keen on it. And golf, and we all do our bits and pieces.
bit of golf as well.
Yeah, too.
And surfing,
the surf is really the enjoyable part. Surfing is. You can speak, I think, to any surfer, and you'll say that's the ultimate. It's just so nice.
Brilliant.
What is so good about it? You go into the water with your friends, and when you come out, nobody's won or lost.
Yeah. It's true.
Nobody's won or lost. You've just had a great time. And you've just enjoyed yourself, and you come out and you.
Your favourite spot here in around town?
Well,
there's not much going on yet at PE.
No. I think you know what it is. It's where you learn, and that is at Pollock Beach. So Pollock Beach will always remain.
Pipe.
Yes, right up to the back there.
The clubhouse gets a bit hectic.
It does.
Yeah.
It does get very hectic.
You know.
I was watching it the other day, and there was some guys making such a serious mistake. You know, they were paddling up and going left. I thought, bye.
Slammers.
You know. Jeez, like no. I love Pollock's nice, but I'm a Miller's.
Miller's is marvelous.
Lovely when it happens. Greg's knees are fine. Don't listen to his squash excuses, Bradley.
I'll see you the weekend, Brads.
Excellent. But yeah, no, I love Miller's. I go to St. Francis these days. I go out to Hewlett's at St. Francis. Beautiful.
It's marvelous. Marvelous.
Right,
I've done lots and lots of surfing there.
Yeah.
It's become a really nice family spot. I don't know how often you go out there.
Quite
but since the whole COVID thing, a lot of new people have moved into St. Francis.
Yes.
And they go down there in the mornings and the evenings. There's a nice little cafe there now.
Yes, the coffee shop.
The coffee shop.
Nikki Woodmond's over there doing that.
Okay. And it's a whole family thing. The father and the mother and the kids, and they surf and they come out and have coffee, and it's just great. It's really nice to see.
It's a relaxing thing. It's like
of course there's a downside.
When you get
waves on your head. There are a lot of people in the water. On a bad day, when there's very small waves, you can count at least 15 in the water, all scratching, but it doesn't matter. It's very nice to see.
It's a family wave over there as well. Everybody jumps on the wave. Nobody's worried about ticket. Very nice.
I get a little ballsy sometimes.
It's only in the Bruce's side or Jeffrey's Bay, the Oaks get a bit, how's your father?
But the best spot after all the years, the best wave, I think, is Jeffrey's Bay Point for longboarding.
Lovely.
And it works so often. It's such a beautiful wave. And I think this last year they took the national championships back there.
Okay.
And I don't know why they don't just keep it there. We used to try and. I was involved in it at one stage, and I said, just keep going to Jeffreys Bay. But the Cape Town and Durban guys had their reasons for not want to. But anyway, so that's life. That's a great spot.
The Durban Oaks reckon their waves are the best. The St. Francis guys, the Seal Point's always there. And, the Seal Point's been great for the compos as well, I've noticed. Dave Everington's always good. There. Somebody can tag Dave.
It's very good.
And Dave Lipschitz as well, also always in the waves at Point.
No, it's a marvelous spot for surfing. It really is good. It just comes with different challenges. Just getting into the water is a challenge on a big day, off the rocks. It's got its different...
I don't go out on big days anymore. I'm like, it's no way.
Neither do I.
6 foot and higher, forget it. I want a nice 4 foot and 3 foot, and then I'm happy. All right. What are you guys looking forward to in the coming months?
I think we're just working on being positive and recovery. Everyone's so happy that things are almost back to normal. Looking forward to, I think we're busy with a big project at the moment. I think our local municipality is not making it easy for us to get building plans approved. So we've got a vision in mind. 4 months maybe a bit soon, but I think towards the beginning and half of next year, 2022, we've got some good plans ahead. I think there's we've got some good ideas.
So watch that space.
Exactly. Watch our space
in Newton Park. Get it going, because you've got to take those risks sometimes, to expand as well, and get it out there.
This is a pretty calculated.
It is calculated.
We're right.
We got to do it. We got to do it. So that is exciting for us
to do it.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that little secret project there going on. All right, what is the silliest fear that you have? Greg, let's ask you.
Silliest fear?
Yeah, do you have a silly fear?
I think of letting people down,
Yeah, you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, who likes disappointment?
I mean, it's not like snails or spiders or something.
I can do them. Yeah. I don't eat them though.
Are you also worried about what other people think of you all the time?
I think, I suppose it's all about reputation. You know, when you're in the business world, I think, when you're not 23 anymore, I think you kind of failure is a disappointment, and it is a bit of a fear.
I can relate to that. I can relate to that.
Yeah. So you don't want to make mistakes. You want to. If you take a risk, it must be a calculated risk. You're not turning around. You're not backing away. Especially with a brand like we have. I think that whatever we do, we need to make it work. Has to work. It will work.
And also at your age as well. And I think Leo probably doesn't give a crap.
I
think he tries to make us feel that way. But
at 76, you actually don't. I don't care. I don't care. I know what I'm doing. It's a different position.
Leo will never let me bump my head, and that's what I like about it. Father figure, paternal figure. So that's
try to keep the thing going and make sure things work.
Look at Camilla Ellis here telling us she works at the library as well. When I first went to Cape St. Francis, I was told to watch out for those surfers and their fork trucks.
She's quite right, you know. She's absolutely quite right. She's quite
Watch
right.
out for those trucks.
Wish we could deny it, but that's the way it was.
Did you have a fork
There
truck?
was Leo, he had a fork truck.
Everybody.
That's very funny. Okay. Among your friends and family, what are you famous for?
Go, Leo.
I think mostly when people visit us in their pub, they usually stumble out.
Oh, really?
Okay, that's usually...
You can pull those tops.
Yeah, I think that's got one of the things that happens when you come in our house.
You keep them topped up.
There we go.
It's a special skill, that.
That's no lie.
When the wine glass, you know what it's like. When the wine glass is like there, then it's all of a sudden something.
Never gets done.
I'm sure I drank some of that.
I can
And then
vouch
you
for
come out of the Davis house and you just
Precisely.
You need to call an Uber. Oh, that's classic.
I like that.
Oh, my word. Okay, and something that your friends wouldn't believe that's true about you. What about you, Greg? Come on, you got this one.
Me?
Yeah, something that wouldn't believe. What? He can do that? Or what?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, actually. Jeez.
Is there a special skill that you know?
On many surprises, you know.
You did ballet when you were up until you were 12 years old or something.
I'm not sure. I don't want to say everything. I want to give all the secrets.
Give all the secrets out.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm a very, very transparent fellow,
Yes,
you know. I have to
what
think hard about
what
that.
You are is what you are. That's it. You don't.
I think so. Aren't too many surprises.
Well, we can ask his friends online. Is he like that, or is he just talking cuck? You know, when he's talking John Day's business, business Greg now, business Greg. We'll find out. Your friends will put something on there that you forget, because they always do. You know, when we're on the show as well, we ask the guys, what about this, and then they'll say, oh, there we go. Greg makes the best. There you go.
Chicken livers. Oh my goodness.
Hey, skills.
He remembers that.
Quite right.
I must have made a good impression there.
So what's your secret to the chicken livers? You cook them up, okay?
Well,
fry them up.
Every time there's a Jewish occasion, I make chopped liver, and it's what I do. You know,
does it very well.
Nice.
I've sampled it. They're very, very good.
Oh, is it? You sample these livers as well.
Yeah.
Good. Your own liver, of course, his own liver he doesn't really look after.
No respect for that one.
If he's visiting the Davises,
Big trouble there.
keeps on getting topped up. That's why his liver's buggered. Here we go. Some of your personal rules that you'll never break. I'll ask you, Leo, because personal rules.
I think we need to look at business about that sort of thing, and I really try so hard not to disappoint customers. In other words, make false promises.
Yeah.
Because it's so embarrassing when it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So I've tried to live by that mantra, and it sounds very, very cultivated.
Yeah, no.
That is definitely a rule, to try and not disappoint people.
Yeah.
And
well, I think
it doesn't always happen.
Yes.
And to try and be honest with them about the product and about upfront.
Yeah.
Because it when you try to hide things away, you get yourself into quite a jam.
I can do it. So it's fine. You've got to almost like see what they're needing, make sure that you know what they need, and then sort of give them the lowdown without losing the business, eh? So
Well,
it's
you
like
don't lose the business, but
Yeah.
if somebody wants a safe and I can only deliver it in 4 weeks' time, and they say I have to have it in 2, I'm not going to say I'll get it to you in 2 because if I know I can't get it to you in 2, because 2 weeks' time there's trouble.
You don't apologize later. Yeah.
So I will try obviously, but I won't make a promise because it's just pointless.
Well, I think it's also to do with your integrity, and we've spoken about integrity before as well. It's essential in your business if you want it to have longevity. You've got to, that integrity's got to be there. You've got to, when I talk to Leo, I've got to know that he's going to speak the truth to me, even if I don't like it.
Yeah. I think the other thing that we probably do, we've never touched on, is to really respect our suppliers, because they're so important to us. And giving your suppliers a rough ride is quite a bad way to go around things, because that trip up the ladder, there's a way down it also. And so we respect our suppliers. Obviously, we want a good deal from them, and we want them to deal with us properly. But riding roughshod over suppliers just because they depend on us is no good. It's no good. Doesn't work, and I think that we both are quite careful about that. So it's nice when the rep comes in the shop, he feels happy about walking in the shop. Not, I've got to go and see Joe Davis again. Oh my God, what am I in for here? I hope they don't feel like that. I don't seem to get the impression. It's usually been they're happy to come in.
And you look after them, and then there'll be times that you need them as well. So
we need them. We need them all the time. Not just times.
Absolutely.
We need our suppliers desperately. Can't sell what I haven't got.
And have you got some main suppliers that you really, who are the guys that supply you? I mean, if you can mention a couple of the guys that like who would supply a locksmith or a hardware?
Well, it's the big brands, It's the big brands, Viro, CISA, Union. The big lock manufacturers. So obviously all the distributors are local, Cape Town, Durban,
Centurion, I suppose, for the Cape Motors and that sort of stuff as well.
There's a company in Cape Town. The chap who started the company, I think it's Derek Purdue, he dealt with my dad.
Okay, wow.
Eventually I met him. And then his son came into the business. And so Sinclair and I became friends.
It's amazing.
And then his kids are now, sons are in the business. And they know Greg, they know me too, but they're dealing with Greg. So we've got 3 generations basically of attachment there. With the company, and we've always gone very well, and we appreciate the fact that they've treated us so well as customers.
There we go, Desiree Morris.
Well, there we go.
CISA is the best lock.
So it's one of the companies that we've dealt a lot with. There are many, and that springs to mind because there's this family thing that goes back for such a long way.
That's amazing, and as you get older, so many years. I mean, you've been in the business. That's a lot of years to have been in the business from when you were a young boy, even. And getting to know those guys, and to think that they are getting the same age. You learn to trust somebody like that, and then there's no. It's not even. You don't even have to see the guy. It's just like, it's fine. Leo's cool. Give him that. It's cool. He'll know what to do.
That's how it's been largely. I mean,
that's the trust. There's a trust that's built up.
Kind of relationship.
And I mean, you've been since 95 as well. It's a hell of a long time.
Well, I've taken the same feather out of the cap. It's to be able to forge those relationships with your suppliers, I think is a great synergy because it's not only the product; it's actually the loyalty. It's actually the belief in the product. It's just a fantastic mutual respect we have for each other.
Okay, so for a question for both of you here, the most interesting person you've met or spoken to?
Well, that is really difficult. There have been so many characters in my past through my life.
I don't know. It could be interesting, or it could be a mentor as well. It's either,
No. It's a difficult one. That the first thing you look at is your dad. Obviously. So we'll pass that.
Joe Davis.
We'll pass that because and that's an obvious one.
Lars there, Weichbrot.
Yes.
It's not of German.
He's one of our suppliers. We have a good relationship with him.
Ross.
Okay. And there are lots of interesting people, and to single them out, especially when you've done there's business and there's sport and there's friends and there's, I mean, you know yourself, you can bore stories. You and your friends have gone out and done stuff. It's quite difficult to talk about. But difficult.
I get
Could
that.
be strained family relationships afterwards, divorces, all sorts of things. So you don't talk about that stuff.
But what do we say for like, let's say for mentors, people that you've looked up to over the years in the business or in life?
For me, it's pretty obvious. You're sitting right next to me.
I mean, you've been working for him.
I lost my dad at an early age. I lost my dad when I was 22 years old. And I think just naturally Leo stepped into that role. So I think that Leo's been instrumental in my sort of tertiary development, to call it that, in my career. So not only has he given me fantastic opportunities, he's educated me, he's loved me, he's guided me. And I'd have to say it's Leo. It seems
despite you buggering off there after the first year.
Just got up and left. Just got up and left.
Slap in the face, really. I mean, I don't know if you've ever forgiven him for
I wish
that.
I could take it back.
Best thing. No. It's the best thing he could have done. He needed it.
Yes.
He needed it. I think
I bet
it's
you
a great
kind of
recommendation. A great recommendation. I'll say right now for young people. You finish school, go and let off some steam.
It's
no point in going to varsity and paying all those fees just to learn to drink.
It's funny, these days, the last 2 years, all those guys that have come out of school have been sitting in lockdown, so they've had their 2 years. They're not going overseas, they got to work. I hope we're going to have an extra boost in our economy from those guys.
They've had a tough time, The guys who've come out of school the last couple of years. They haven't had the fun. They've had to stay at home, They go out and they go out once and catch COVID, happened to my grandson. So instead of, writing exams pissed, they're actually sober. It must be very boring to sit at home like that. Very boring.
You're right. And for you as a mentor, I mean, who was I suppose your dad?
My dad was my mentor. I've met people in business and some really nice people and good. I can single out a guy. His name's Daryl Schneeberger from Joburg.
Okay.
And we hit it off very well right from the beginning.
Schneeberger, he likes the Germans, huh?
No, his dad was friendly with my dad, but we met and we had very like ideas for the locksmithing industry. And he was chairman of the Locksmiths Association, and it was nice working with him when we were together up there working on the committees, because he had also had vision for the Locksmiths Association, and he wanted it to grow. He didn't want to hold the knowledge in. He wanted it to happen. And it was so nice to work with him, to play golf with him, to have fun with him. He also put opportunities our way, things like Medico, definitely. It's just a name. And in my business world, I suppose I could pick him out as being somebody. There have been a few others. And I'm sorry for that, people who I don't mention.
Those other people that are all moaning at you right now.
I mentioned Sinclair Purdy just now. He's always been a great guy to do with. But the elder and I, we having the same ideas made it very easy for me to accomplish some of the things that I wanted to do and help him do some of the stuff that he did. So,
and also, I think just seeing how the mind works and learning those things. He
was a good guy.
Biggest accomplishment in your career so far?
Biggest accomplishment?
Yeah. What would you? One of the things you're most proud of, kind of thing.
Being a partner in this business. Definitely.
Yeah.
Also,
would you have thought of it when you started?
I think I always wanted to be a business owner.
Yeah.
I remember the day approaching Leo, and I was a little wiser, and I could see my potential. Without, I could see, this is a good industry. This is a viable business, and you could make a good living off it. And I approached Leo and became a partner. He immediately started buying into the business, and at that stage, Leo was happy to invite a partner, and I think that was my proudest moment to actually own a piece of the cake and You know,
Get it right.
If I'd had it over, I would do the same. You know, being an entrepreneur and being successful, I think that is a good achievement. Also, becoming a father. You know, I've got 3 boys. You know, and that's for me is a great achievement as well. You know, So
well, it's not yet. Your boys are still. You know, how old are your boys now?
The one's a teenager. Well, actually, the one's a teenager.
Well, you still got a while to go. So
I've got a while to go.
Oh, I'm so proud of that. We'll wait until you get to
Okay.
When they hit 30, then we'll talk.
We'll have another visit in 20 years' time.
Alec Riddle saying, how's it to Leo? Alec's been on the show as well.
Lovely.
Legendary athlete. Alec and Chris Fortune said, well done, Joe Davis. Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
Now, Greg said that he's fortunate to come in. I'm fortunate to have him.
Yeah.
Short story.
Yeah.
It's got to go. It's got to carry on.
Yes.
You know, and so often one sees businesses going to a second or third generation syndrome where they either fail, disappear, sell to people who don't care, whatever it is.
Yes.
This way,
somebody
Greg's
who cares.
got exactly the same visions, I think.
Yeah.
But even better. I mean, it's a newer generation. And I just see it going forward, and that's my proudest thing, is that I've got Greg who's taking it forward. And I've had great help in my business from different people also. So we remain nameless, I'm not going to go all the way there. But Greg's taking it forward, and I'm lucky that it's been easy. It's been easy for me to go and just find somebody out there to sell to or to hand over one day, or... Like,
you know, it's quite unique, you know, to have somebody with that sort of loyalty. You know, I was talking to Angelo Swartz from who heads up Spa Eastern Cape, and he was saying you just need people who give a shit. You know? And clearly you do, and that's a very it's clearly symbiotic, but it's helping you, and it's you both benefiting from this relationship. I think it's fantastic, and it's very unique. I don't know of many guys that have almost forged a thing, almost like a son, you know. And it's like really is.
He gives me a lot of time off. I'm very appreciative.
We're working on it.
Time off.
And a little bit of whiskey and
I disappear quite often. Go.
It's a good synergy we've got. It really is. It's really a good thing we've got going.
Clearly a lot of trust there as well, which is fantastic.
Complete.
Yeah, love it. I love it. All right. Your both your first jobs were. You said you were at the timber mills for a while. Did you have anything before that?
No.
Nothing. Just
at
straight
all.
out of school.
I used to do picture framing. I used to tear up calendars and cut them out and put glass on them and sell them at the beachfront, you know.
Nice.
And I think that's sort of where your entrepreneurial skills are born.
Yes.
You know, a bit of typical Jewish smos. You know what I mean? You see a bit of discount and this and that.
A bit of discount.
I'll never forget one of our good customers today. A guy by the name of Dennis Tucker, and today his son Dale runs a business, Pine Lodge.
Oh right,
I remember on one Sunday morning laying out all my picture frames, and I probably had about 40-50 frames, and I think the theme was nature. I think it was animals and things like that, and plants and trees and whatever. And I couldn't wait I think my mom dropped me off at 9 o'clock, and I think that's when the thing opened. You know, what is it called? Art in the Park.
Yes, Art in the Park.
And she dropped me off,
St. George's
and
Park.
At about 9:05, I started looking at my watch, thinking, all I want to do is go to the beach and be with my friends, but I want to make money. I want to make money. Yeah. So anyway, and along comes Dennis Tucker.
Yeah.
Okay, and he says, okay, got some pictures for sale. Yeah, introduces himself. I had no idea. I don't think it was called Pine Lodge then. I think it was called something else. And this is 25 years ago.
Yeah, Pine Lodge.
It was called something else, I think.
I'm not sure. Can you remember what it's called? Somebody put it in the comments. What is Pine Lodge
had
called?
another name, something chalets or something. Anyway, he came along and he said, asked me a fantastic question. I really enjoyed this question. He said, "How much for everything?" And I was dollar signs. So I said, I don't know. Let's work it. Let's calculate it. Let's just add it up. So I added it up. And it came to whatever it was, and I think I knocked off 5%. No, I gave him a special price, and he wrote me out a check there and then.
Jeez,
and little did I know, we'd have a good relationship over the counter.
Yeah.
You know,
how's that?
And
Amazing.
I told him the story, and he said, "I remember you. I remember you. You had hair then." He said. So it was really that was one
That's
of
a classic.
Every trader's dream. Every trader's dream.
I want it all. And to be honest, you were just so lucky because he was coming there. He needed a whole bunch of pictures for this bloody place.
Yeah.
His wife had told him that he needs to get 50 pictures, and I don't care how you get them. Here they all are in one Greg card.
Yeah.
Tick.
I'm
gone.
And Dennis will remember it. I mean, he'll, we chuckled about it, and he actually did remember that particular
classic.
incident. Yeah.
All right, for both of you, a question here. Any concert, past or present, concert that you would go to? You can choose any concert. Which one would you see? Favorite band or?
Okay.
I know, but
I'll have to pick the first concert that I went to because the first time the guy came to PE, I didn't have enough money to go. So everybody went except Leo.
The Davises were poor.
I didn't go to concerts. And so I think I'd started work and I was still poor. It didn't matter. There was enough to go to the concert.
Yes.
It was Cliff Richard's second trip to
Oh,
PE.
really?
oh wow, yeah.
Got myself a walk.
Exactly.
Yeah, lovely.
So you can imagine excitement.
Yo. Shadows, Cliff Richard and the
Yeah,
Shadows.
that was very exciting.
And you, I was going to say,
Well, hands down, my best show that I've ever been to was Robbie Williams in Durban.
oh wow, I was there.
That
I was there, we were both there.
that was
Yeah, it was amazing.
It was like Nebworth came to KwaZulu-Natal. You know,
it was incredible.
It was unbelievable, and local artists. I mean, I love the Polytones.
Okay.
And yeah, I would say that one stands out.
Yeah.
Robbie Williams.
Robbie Williams was amazing. It was a good one. I didn't
I
remember
was
seeing
right in
him
front, Gary.
amongst the 70,000 people. But it was amazing that with COVID now we just can't even imagine that anymore.
No.
It's so amazing.
Need your distance.
And even past or present. So if you could go back in time and go to another, what would? Okay, let me ask this question because I like this question. Is the first album that you ever bought? The first record that you ever bought?
Well, Elvis Presley.
Did you buy Elvis?
Yeah.
Oh, then I chose right for this today.
I got a turntable for my bar mitzvah.
Oh, really?
A little turntable.
Yeah.
And I bought an Elvis Presley record. And then the turntable turned into something else because we found Rizla and tobacco. And so we took the bottom of the turntable out a little bit and we kept that in there. So it's double as a turntable and a cigarette spot.
You hide away from
It's
your
a good
folks,
memory
you
for
bastard. That's
So
very funny.
Elvis was the first.
He was hiding his cigarettes in his turntable. You know, honestly. Cigarettes. Yeah, we'll see. Surfing and cigarettes. Oh, my soul. Nice, a right hippie, this man here.
Yeah.
And yourself? First album.
I would have to say.
That you use your own money.
Where make it big.
Where make it big?
I would say
The
cassette.
Make it big.
The cassette.
That was
Yeah.
That I'm just trying. That's like what's it called? Wake Me Up Before You Go.
That's
and
right. Careless Whisper.
Careless Whisper.
Yeah. That was my first
big album.
I paid for that from Pine Lodge money. I think.
Okay, that's it. Nice. I like it. Okay. When you're not working, how do you like to spend your time? Do you still surf a bit?
I haven't surfed properly for the last 2 years,
Okay.
but I still go to the beach a lot.
All right.
I spend a lot of time at the beach and in the water.
Yeah.
Play a bit of golf. Take lots of walk along the beachfront.
Nice. Outdoors.
Spend lots of time with my partner. Spend time with my family when I can get to Cape Town. Go to St. Francis Bay as much as possible. I go to St. Francis as much as possible. So there's a number of things to keep me busy. Fiddle around in the garage and make things and do things, fix things.
Nice.
I don't know.
Gives you that sense of accomplishment when you fix something at home.
And do things.
Like
just keep myself busy.
Yeah.
And yourself squash.
Squash.
Yeah.
I love squash. I'm a bit addicted actually.
Is it?
You know, a little less mobile than I used to be,
Yeah.
but I've become a bit of a homebody actually.
Oh, is it?
I
With the
enjoy
Netflix?
in the garden.
Oh,
You know?
right.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So we've got a veggie garden, and I've got my
Nice.
pool and my lop and the
Gary does a
braai,
bit of
so-
veggie gardening, you know.
there you
Quite
go.
the
Okay,
specialist
there you
these
go.
Yeah,
days.
it's relaxing, you know.
Yeah.
It takes your mind off things. It does relax
Yeah,
me,
it does.
you know. So, and of course, yeah, squash. I love
I
the
like
club.
it.
I love the vibe. I love the friends and the sweat.
Yes.
And I can, you know, when you walk in there, you can smell. There's a
Yes.
squash smell.
Now, I mean, being in the locksmith trade and that, I mean, is it not? Do you guys, have you guys heard about steampunk?
Steampunk.
Steampunk, you've got to get into it because as a locksmith, you'll love it. A steampunk is like, I don't know, you'll have to find somebody can put a link to a steampunk page somewhere there. I've got to get Gary to find it as well. You must pick out a picture, Gary. But steampunk is like, it's all about machinery and the machine age. It's come into the industrial look of places these days, restaurants, coffee shops.
Yes.
It's become almost like a decor kind of thing as well, and a clothing thing, where it's all to do with like Jules Verne but steam era. So and incorporating watches and locks and stuff like that as well. You guys will love it.
Okay.
So
And the decor is all factory.
it's all
decor.
kind of industrial,
Yeah, industrial.
but it's a mixture of Art Deco, Victorian, beautiful actually.
Working parts.
Yes,
Like-
and working parts
Yeah,
and
okay.
streamliner stuff, trains and
Yes.
you know that sort of thing. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it. But what I'm getting to is that it's almost you almost have to be the kind of person that enjoys old stuff. So do you collect stuff? Do you have any like collect coins or stamps or anything like that?
Wine.
Yeah,
Wine.
Wine,
You
yeah.
wine.
Collect wine, yeah. Unfortunately, he gets drunk.
You don't know,
He drinks his collection.
Do you drink it every now and again?
Yeah.
Bit of wine. Okay, Gary's a big wine dude as well. Yeah, you love the wine estates. So get out
Yeah,
there.
the wine estates are lovely.
Yeah.
The Barbara from Preston's is just starting the wine club again.
Oh yes, yeah, I think Gary's been there a
Just starting
couple
the
of
wine
times.
club again, so we over that.
You'll have to
that
join
hurdle.
PE Wine Lovers. So Gary's the PE Wine Lovers. It's Gary's group as well. They do a lot of tastings and things. Lovely. I like a bit of wine. I'm doing a bit of whiskey tasting as well. I like that too.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got a little malt society that we go to
Ah,
every now
malt
and again.
society, that
Yes.
sounds good. Oh.
Oh my word. Okay, so what's worth spending more on to get the best? What would you say?
Spending more on to get the best.
Yeah.
Time.
Time. Yes. Good answer.
Time. I would say time. Yes, it's something that's non-negotiable.
Yeah.
You know. So, yeah, you need to find enough time to spend on the things you love.
Yeah.
You know, like family
Yeah.
and
Family
wine.
and friends and wine. It's true.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
true.
But yeah, I think that's something that everyone neglects. I think.
Yeah.
And something you can't buy.
Good answer, because as I think a lot during COVID as well, everybody's kind of realized the fact that they've got to. It's not only it's family, it's friends, it's wine, it's good times, and it's community,
Yeah.
which then ties into the businesses, the things helping one another as well. You know.
Yeah.
It's quite difficult to where to draw the line when you go have your own business.
Yeah.
You know, I understand a lot of people who work for others. They've got either very strict hours, or they try to impress by doing more. Or I'm not condemning it at all.
Yeah.
Or they need to spend more time. But when you got your own business, and it's up to you how much time you spend there.
I know it's difficult.
You end up spending. Yeah, maybe I spend too much time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. But it's quite difficult to draw that
switch
line
off.
of time to switch off.
Yeah.
Wake up at 3:30 in the morning and you're thinking about tomorrow's job that you
Yeah.
have to do that's worrying you. a
Yeah,
little bit,
worrying you.
know.
Yeah, there's always that worry, but it's never something that you should be worried about. That's human nature to worry about stuff.
Can't help
that
it.
you, you can't help it.
Can't help it.
Oh my word. Okay, let's have a look here. Is there anywhere that you are not welcome anymore?
We'll see you after this evening.
Yeah, see out this evening. Yeah.
Go on, Leo. There's got to be a couple because it's been a lot of years.
I'd say if I've been out with my friends for too long, maybe home.
That's a good answer.
Hey, you know.
Fair? That's the most outstanding one. I like to think that most of the places that I've walked out of, welcome back again. I like to think.
Yes, you like to think that, but some people don't agree with you. Yeah, be honest. You don't play golf too often, but you play a lot of golf when you do.
That exactly.
The longest walk every time.
You see, and that would come from Fred. That would definitely come from Fred, and he's quite right too.
Okay.
That's the sad part, he's quite right.
So he watches you, you know. I see Pat Wood saying in 661 Golden Gig Becky, is that the address?
Yes.
661.
Yes.
It seems a very long road. I didn't realise it was that long. 661 shops. Yeah.
Never used to all be Main Street.
Yeah.
Or Governor Becky. It changed.
Yes,
there was
it
Main
changed.
Street, and then there was Queen Street.
Yes.
And so it went on. And I think could have been Adley. I remember the Queen's part, and then I think they quite wisely just made it Main Street because you didn't know where.
Sure.
It's like there are a couple of places like that in Cape Town that start and begin, you don't know where you are.
Yes, you don't know where the streets go.
And of course it's Governor Becky.
Yes, of course. Have you either been in a car accident?
Yes. My front and rear ended my car.
Oh, did somebody hit you from behind?
At that stage, it wasn't a company car. Or it was. I can't remember.
Probably was.
Probably remembers.
Pedal to the metal.
Obviously, you didn't have to pay much for that insurance.
Yeah, quite amazing. Actually, you know, between Russell Road and Albany Road turnoff, there's always a big puddle that gathers on the left-hand side on the way out.
Yes, Russell Road and Albany Road.
The freeway takes a dip, and there's a big puddle that forms on the left. They've never really fixed it because there's plants, there's bushes growing out of our freeways, so there's no drainage. And I hit that at about, I don't know, I was driving 80 or 90 or 140.
140 or whatever it was.
And aquaplaned and wrote my car off. There was nothing left of it. Airbags and.
Well, at least you survived. Good.
It's a strange moment, eh?
Yeah.
Because you that weight for the impact.
It
seems like ages. It's ages. You're just waiting, and boom. And you touch your body, and okay.
All right. It's still all right.
It's all right.
It's still okay.
Yeah, crazy experience.
Big impact.
Crazy experience. Crazy. And I still, in wet weather, I still don't drive properly.
Yeah.
I crawl. Terrible.
It's good. And yourself, Leo?
I haven't been in any major fender benders, but I remember having 3 minors in the first year that I was driving.
Oh, really?
Because I wasn't really concentrating.
Yes.
And the first one is, I don't know if you remember, there's South Union Street, and then there was North Union Street, and there was Bulbing Brothers on a corner. And there was a place called Bulbing Brothers. And I was going to do a delivery for my dad or something like that in the Ferns Bucky. And there was a chick on the pavement that I was having. So I wasn't looking in front of me. And I when I did look in front of me, there was this little Morris Minor showing old Mr. Abrams. I smacked into the back of him, and he smacked into the next motor car.
Not Phil Abrams.
And his dad, it was his dad.
Phil Abrams did.
And I remember afterwards, the Abramses changed the insurance agent car because it didn't cost us a cent, and they ended up paying for their costs. And they ended up, did the insurance agent a favour. Mr. Leaf. And there was another one. I hit a guy on a moped. I wasn't concentrating, but he was fine. He got up, and I can't remember the third one.
No, not this time.
No. This is not looking properly. It was in numeral coming out of the side.
So cell phones must be really big in here.
Cell phones. We should be looking at the cell phones.
So
I'm glad to see that you wrote into Kevin Abrams' grandfather. I quite like that. Somebody tag Kevin for that story. He had a Morris Minor, but no longer, I'm afraid. Kevin's now in Greece. He's in,
okay.
Where is he now? Oh man, I can't remember the place. Even Michael were on the show a little while ago, and he's doing nicely there. He's
that's good. Yeah.
Cyprus. He's in Cyprus.
Okay, that's great.
All right. Let's see last one of this section. What's an example of a mistake or a failure that you experienced, and what did you learn from it?
Tough questions, Gino.
It's one of Gary's specials.
I've got to dig deep for that.
Yeah, something where you made a mistake and you learned something from it, and you said, okay, well, let's sort that out now. We've made lots on the streaming, let me tell you.
Okay, I'll go. There's so many times that one makes mistakes, and you learn by them all the time. I said, you're supposed to learn by them.
Yes, you are, yeah.
But I remember employing a fellow once, and I didn't dig into his background properly, which you're really supposed to do in the locksmithing industry. I can't tell you why.
The HR skills that he has with your interview.
I can't remember why. But one of the things that I noticed while he worked for me, he was an appy, he was learning, was he always wore long sleeve shirts, you see. And one day in the workshop, I got a bit of a suspicion because he got cross with one of the guys and he was going to hit him on the head with a hammer. And he said, "Don't tour me." Now, as I know, that's a very good, that language comes from North End Prison. Okay. I don't know where else they use it, but I believe they use me. Don't tour me. And then eventually something happened and he left our employ. And I saw him walk down Gordon and Becky. And he had a T-shirt on, and he was covered in the type of tattoos that they do in jail. You know, with I don't know what they use, but it's not like these lovely tattoos that you see on people. Beautiful art.
I think they do with
this was
a toothbrush and a ballpoint pen.
This oak had been to jail for quite a while, and he actually, it came to my notice that they caught him breaking into a house somewhere with a Joe Davis T-shirt on, which made they even made it worse.
The employees are breaking in.
So if you want to know about mistakes,
He taught him how to unpick the locks.
he said, if you want to know how to make mistakes, there we go.
Check before you get into the locksmith. That's so funny.
It happened. I learned.
You got a guy out of jail. You taught him how to
There we
pick locks.
go. It doesn't get worse. It doesn't get worse, does it?
No, it doesn't get worse. Okay, I get it. I get what you're saying now. That's very, very funny. Oh, man. Okay. All right, now it's time for the Would You Rathers. Let's do the Would You Rathers. Okay, these are a bit silly, these ones, but they were right. Would you rather be covered in fur or covered in scales?
Fur.
Fur, prefer that. Scales very much tougher, you know. It's not really, somebody tries to hit you with a hammer. It's better to have scales. Especially if you're working at Joe Davis and you've got guys with throng chops. What are you saying, Leo?
I'd like to be covered in fur, but it must be loose and it must be over me on a bed.
Okay, so like a constant blanket.
That's it. That kind of fur. Okay.
It's like those Man Magazine guys where they're like on an island and they grow the beard and the hair. There's just one.
That's
one big fur ball. Let's see. Would you rather be in jail for a year or lose a year of your life? So either be in jail for that year or we lose that year.
I'll take a year of my life, thanks. I
Rather-
don't want to go to jail.
I don't go to jail.
I'm going to try and keep out of there.
You know, a lot of my guests on the show have been to jail. I mean, for short periods, like a few days or whatever.
I'm not saying I've escaped it yet. I'm just saying I don't want to go.
So you've never been to jail, either of you? You've never been to jail for overnight or,
No.
after tasting your wine too much or something?
No, I've been lucky enough to escape.
Such words.
Or knocking over a car on a moped.
No.
Okay, no, good. Okay. Would you rather never be able to eat meat or never be able to eat vegetables? Which one would you never eat?
Meat.
Meat. You'd rather go just the veggies only.
No, I would rather want to eat meat.
Oh, you want really?
I wouldn't want to go without meat.
Okay, so you would rather don't want to eat vegetables. He puts a double negative on these ones just to make them more.
What is the
difficult.
question? What is the question?
Well, would you rather never be able to eat meat or never be able to eat vegetables?
Okay, sorry, so I gave the wrong answer.
Yeah.
Never vegetables then. I definitely would prefer meat over veggies.
Meat, okay. Sure, that probably includes potatoes. So no starch for you. Bread and meat the whole time. And you, Leo?
I prefer to be able to eat meat all the time, but if I want to live that extra year you spoke about, I think I'm going to have to go with veggies. Okay.
Veggies now. At 76, he's decided he'd rather go with the veggies. You're looking good. Okay. Whatever you're eating now,
lots of meat.
I'm going to start with lots of meat as well myself. Would you rather have out of control body hair or strong pungent body odor?
What?
You can only have one or the other. You're either going to have body hair that's out of control or you're going to stink.
Well, I think I'll go for out of control body. Right at this moment, I'll take that hands down. Okay.
Here we go. That guy on the island again. The beard and the hair.
No, what the heck?
Who wants body odor?
Yeah, fair enough. Rather hairy everywhere. You have to wear big Speedo or something. You know what I mean?
What a question.
Would you rather be reincarnated as a fly or just cease to exist after you? Let's say you can be reincarnated. Would you rather be reincarnated as a fly or just cease to exist?
Cease to exist.
Cease to exist.
A fly could be cool, man.
No.
You don't know what flies are.
No.
SWAT.
You could look inside those locks for sure.
Okay.
You've got like how many eyes? Like a compound eye, isn't it? Check it out.
Just irritates everybody all the time.
Yeah.
You go through life irritating
Not other
people.
flies. And I mean, you'd just be sitting around on some shit or
Yeah, exactly.
Land on someone's
Exactly.
dead rabbit or something, you know.
How delightful.
Lay a couple of eggs. Larva. That'd be quite cool.
Who drew up that one?
It's
Gary.
Hemmings for
Gary.
sure. No, that's Hemmings for sure. Okay, would you rather be eaten by a shark or a tiger?
That's a tough one. That's a very, very tough one. Well, I've been worrying about sharks for a very, very long time, you know. So I'd have to go for the other, because the other one I worry about, the tiger I haven't worried about. It's not been a big deal in my life.
Yeah, you wouldn't really know.
Yeah,
I think you're gnaw on you know. It probably start at your foot and then eat you. It'd be a lot more pain. I think the shark just bites you in half.
Yeah, true. Actually, you're right. Yeah.
I don't know.
You could bleed out with it.
Bleed out in the water.
Jeez.
Neither is a pleasant thought.
Yeah.
No. But the more preferable one would probably be the tiger.
Tiger. Let's go for the tiger.
All right.
Yeah, let's go for the tiger.
All right. Either or, Scary. Let's go. Final questions. Final one. Okay. Either the Beatles or the Stones.
Beatles.
Both goodies, are you? Here we go. Introvert or extrovert?
Extrovert.
Extrovert, both of you. Oh, that's good. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Dogs, yeah, you both are very similar, aren't you? You're not going to disagree on any of these. Save or spend? 76, how old are you?
No spend.
I like to spend.
You should be saving. Really.
I should be. I suppose
should be.
different
Yeah,
stages
it
of
seems
my
all
life.
right. You got to spend everything.
No.
You can't leave nothing for anybody.
It's probably a 51-49 split, actually. Spending and saving. But I'd have to go 51
Sounds like
spend.
the election. Yeah. Okay, antique or brand new?
I don't know. The brand new.
Brand new.
You go for brand new.
Yeah.
I'm
Depends on the
surprised,
antique, you see, because there's such a wide range of antiques.
It could be nice.
So if I'm allowed to choose that I want yellow wood and nice.
What about that Morris Minor that you trashed?
The old
Yeah,
cars are
cool,
lovely.
cool.
Yeah,
Eh?
nice.
Morris Minor was beautiful, but you just you just trashed it. Poor Mr. Abrams.
Shane sat there like this.
Oh no!
He's
Just thinking, oh shit!
front and back.
This bloody guy come behind me. Oh man, would you rather be painfully aware or blissfully ignorant?
Blissfully ignorant. Blissfully ignorant, very good.
Okay, final one. Forgiveness or vengeance?
Forgiveness.
Yeah, forgiveness.
All right, good.
Yeah.
It's good. I think you have to, if you're running a show, a retail,
Yeah, that's right.
Jeez.
you've got to go for
No
forgiveness.
vengeance.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Guys, it's been absolutely fantastic to have you on the
Thank
show.
you very much.
Thank you so much.
Great being here.
Man,
It's an experience.
and it's such an interesting trade. You know, I love the fact that you guys are still picking locks.
We are. It's age-old industry.
We are.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
I'd like to do a little presentation, if I may. Just in closing.
Yes, please.
We'd like to give you something, you and Gary, for a token of our appreciation of this fantastic
A
show.
little
you've
gift,
got.
you know.
A little gift, yeah.
Just have a look. Oh, yes.
So each of you get
got
a little digital safe. And we'll tell you, and we may just tell you how to open it.
I suppose these are digital ones now. You have to.
Digital, that's
So
digital.
to keep my stuff safe.
Yeah, no, thank you very much.
To keep my family jewels. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Will they fit in
That's
there?
fantastic.
Will they fit in there?
Oh, no, I'll have to get a bigger one for my jewels. Oh, thank you so much, guys. It's fantastic. And Joe Davis may have many years of success in the future.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us in Gino's spot.
Thank you,
Love
Gino. It's been very nice. It's been absolutely super. Thank you.
All right, and I'm going to stick in my headphones now, guys. It's time to block your ears a little bit. Please have some of our Fat Cats stuff here. We've got Grace has given us this food.
Here we go. All right, I've got my microphone back. All right, it's now competition time. And I'm going to get my drum cam. And what you've got to give me is the name of the song and the name of the artist. It's going to be loud in here, guys. So and we got our sponsor for tonight, Joe Davis sponsorship. Well, semi-sponsorship, eh? We got it. And it's a song, the song and the name of the artist. And we will send you a case of Fitch and Leeds. A case of our main sponsor, Fitch and Leeds and Spa. Thank you so much to Spa and Fitch and Leeds. Here we go. Give me the name of the artist and the name of the song. And or either or. Whichever one you can get. We'll see who's going to win.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Hilton was on the button. Here we go. Well done, Hilton. We will send you a case of Fitch and Leeds. He's all the way in Cape Town. We'll send it to Cape Town, young man. Bruno Mars, he's got them both. He had them, both of them together. Well, two different compliments, but you were the first one, so you're in. Thank you so much to Leo and Greg for joining us. It's been absolutely fantastic to have you guys on. And thank you to our sponsors, Fitch and Leeds and Spa. And of course, Amobia, our internet. And then a special thanks to Fat Cats for the food. It was wonderful. We'll see you on Saturday, actually on Thursday. It's on Thursday. We've got Mike from Mark from VP. He's retiring soon as well, so we're going to speak to him. There's Principal of VP. Thanks, Fat Cats. There you go. We'll see you on Thursday live. Thanks, guys.
Sit down, coming out of PE town. One drink, find a shot, never mind your liver, get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Have a laugh exercise your mental, have a Gino shot.
Gino shot.
Get the Gino spot.